Okay, so welcome. Just hi Delia. Hello. So hi everyone. So what I don't want to do today, I don't want to spend time just waiting for people to come in, because I know not everyone will always make the time that I have put out. But I would like to get started with this Instagram live. So this is for Black Breastfeeding Week. So happy Black Breastfeeding Week. Welcome. My name is Ruth Dennison from One to One Doula. And this week, the focus is, the theme is we are outside. So with this theme of we are outside, I am going outside and thinking outside the box. As a breastfeeding practitioner, we tend to always support and provide breastfeeding, support in regards to the challenges and recommendations of how mums can adjust to get breastfeeding off to the best start. Also helping with the continuation of breastfeeding. But I also know that breastfeeding can also additionally be difficult, not only physically in regards to getting breastfeeding right, but also in regards to our mental health and our well-being. So this session that I'm going to have with you today is really for us to explore self-care practices for breastfeeding mums. So I don't know how many of you have actually even thought of this, but I believe it is so important. Thank you, Delia. I think that it is so important in regards to mothers, really taking good care of themselves in regards to their breastfeeding journey. It can be quite strenuous for you mentally as well as physically within your body, depending on how things are going in regards to your support that you have out there. It sometimes can be quite bleak. In regards to, just not having the right support, or just the encouragement in the time to actually think about how do you take care of yourself so you can make breastfeeding more enjoyable for you and not always feel so tired and run down, if you feel that way, that is. So this is an open floor, so if you have any questions, I will try and answer them towards the end, but if there is something that pops up that's within the subject that I'm speaking about, then I will most likely try my best to answer your question within this chat as we go along. So my first thing I want to speak about is prioritizing rest. I know that plenty of mothers find it really, really difficult to rest, and they feel that, when you are breastfeeding, that not only are you breastfeeding throughout the day and you're also up at night, but there are ways that you can actually make breastfeeding more restful. There is the side lying position where you can lay down with your baby, and I feel that every mother should learn this position when they're in hospital or when they're giving birth at home. Learn this side lying position and get your rest. Once you have mastered it and you have mastered actually latching your baby on, the side lying position can be so rewarding for you, and it would definitely help you enjoy breastfeeding a lot more longer. And you can even, once you feel confident, making sure everything is safe and baby is unlikely to roll off the bed, preferably in your bed, then I'm sure that you will definitely be able to get some sleep while you breastfeed your baby. So thinking of when you are bottle feeding, having to get up, make a bottle and everything, all of that is cut out when you start to learn this side lying position. But if you can, I know it's difficult, when baby does sleep, try your best to also prioritize a nap for yourself. Please do not use it as a time to get up and do all of these different things, especially in the early days when your body is trying to heal and recover and you're trying to get into the lingo of things. Just try and find that rest for yourself and keep yourself hydrated. If you can keep yourself hydrated, your head would be so much clearer. You will find that you have a bit more energy in regards to being dehydrated. Also, babies will get a lot more from you. Just drinking plenty of water. If you don't really like water, I know some people be like, no matter what age you are, there are some people that don't really like water. So keep yourself hydrated, whether it is with teas, herbal teas, with water, or even with, putting some kind of juice and mixing it in with your water to keep yourself hydrated. And it really helps very much with your milk production. And I know it is so difficult in regards to knowing how to get people to help you where you need the help, and you try to have it all down to yourself or your partner to do the things around the house. But sometimes not only you and your partner may also need some rest. But when you are breastfeeding and you find that you are feeling quite restless and you've got loads of things that you need to do, and you've got all these friends and family that would like to come and have a look at your baby and hold your baby. Okay, if they want to hold your baby, that's okay. You can try and use that time to rest. But in regards to delegating responsibilities and allowing people to help you, my thing is, I know not everyone likes to say, can you do this and can you do that? You don't want to feel demanding. You don't want to feel like you're giving people the bad jobs, the jobs that no one really wants to do. And so I've got a little thing that you can do in regards to, just really making a little, how can I say it, like a lucky dip box, or put some, different chores that you may need to be helped with around the house. Get those chores, put them together, fold them up, put them in a box and do a lucky dip. So you're not really saying to someone that I need you to wash my dishes, or I need you to, take the stuff out of the dryer and fold up my laundry. You're not exactly saying that, but these are the things that that you need help with. So when they decide they would like to help you, have that lucky dip box and allow them to choose what they would like to help you with. And you'll find that it's so helpful, and it's, this is so important in regards to having that time to take that load off yourself. And sometimes you might find that you are getting quite overwhelmed. You might even sometimes feel a little bit claustrophobic sometimes. And I would say definitely, if you can, try and connect with nature. When I mean connect with nature, it could just be, sometimes sitting by the window, looking outside. If you have trees outside your home, that is something that you can do if you felt that you couldn't actually get out of your house. If you have a garden, going in the garden and taking a break in the garden is also nice for you. There's a thing about, just really being with nature that really can help to recharge you. Also, just really going for a nice walk, going for a walk in the park where there's, less traffic, less chaotic things going on, and just really finding your peace, or going for a walk past the canal. Sometimes even bringing your baby along, they also enjoy it just as much as you would. And so just sometimes getting out, getting in touch with nature and just having your walk, taking in some nice deep breaths and taking it all in can be really, really rewarding for yourself. And also practice mindfulness, like different mindful activities. And this sometimes could be to do with deep breathing, having a point of meditation. Sometimes you might like different, essential oils that can be very therapeutic for you mentally, emotionally. Trying to incorporate these things into your life while you are breastfeeding your baby. Sometimes it might be during your breastfeeding sessions. Sometimes it might be in between your breastfeeding sessions. Just even sometimes having that time, maybe when you're in a bath, just putting your essential oils in the bath, having a nice soak, and just really having that moment to take some deep breaths, relax. You can even practice affirmations while you are having that relaxation time. And when I say relaxation time, I don't mean that you're going to need to stay in the bath for 30 minutes and listen to your baby crying and, worrying about when you can get out. But sometimes you're just finding the right times to incorporate it, whether it is when you are sleeping or lying down in your bed. There's no reason why you can't, put your diffuser on with some essential oils while you're in bed, adding it to your bath sometimes, or even in your shower, because sometimes as a new mum, you can't even get in a bath and you may just only can get a shower. And it doesn't mean that you can't include essential oils, or, or even practice deep breathing while you are in your place of, bathing. Also, Journaling can be really rewarding in regards to just really pinpointing what frustrations you may be having, what challenges you may be having, also what things are going really well. We tend to not realize how many things are going well and always look on the things that are not going so well. So sometimes just really having that time, journaling, having a little book, or sometimes when you feel like your head's going to explode, just taking that book out and writing it all down, it can really take a weight off your shoulders. So that's something else you can include. Some people may not want a book because they feel like, how am I going to find that book? Once I place it down, not all the time I'm going to be in the same place. But I know many of the mums today tend to have their phones with them. So there's pads in your phones that you can use to journal as well. But I just think that there is really good energy when you do put pen to paper. And sometimes, you just may need to pamper yourself, like really try to set time aside. It doesn't have to be excessive amounts of time, but something that you used to do. And sometimes it might just be giving yourself a 5-minute facial. It may be having a really nice soak in the bath, as I mentioned before. That can be really relaxing for you. So just say, you prepared your bath, throw some rose petals in there to make it seem all fancy. Put a candlelight. It doesn't mean you're going to get straight to that bath because it's unpredictable when you have a baby. But just know that, okay, this is going to be my time. I'm ready. If you have someone in your home that can help take over and keep baby calm, or, look after baby in the meantime, then you can just set yourself 5 to 10 minutes time aside for that self-care pampering time. And if you get more time, then even better. But that's also something to consider. And sometimes, even just giving yourself like little massages, because I know that when you are breastfeeding, a lot of the time, especially as a new mum, we tend to really tense up like this, and we're trying to feed our babies, and we get a lot of aches and pains in our shoulders. So sometimes, just really finding a time to do some stretches in your shoulders, and also self-massage. So you can just really do that with your hands, bring them around your shoulders, and also just really go around to the back of your neck and do some nice stretches. And you'll find that you feel so much more, lighter just in regards to doing those stretches. And that can only be 60 seconds worth of stretching. And it can make a huge difference on how you're feeling while you are, in between feeds. But pampering yourself, or even just, taking yourself off and having a foot soak while you are breastfeeding, that's so nice to be able to do that. So that's something that you can try and incorporate into your, your routine of breastfeeding. And I would definitely say, try your best to stay connected and reach out to other mothers. This could be done through your family, your friends, or it could even be done through breastfeeding community centres, breastfeeding support centres, or, parenting centres. Some people may have had a group formed with different antenatal classes. Sometimes reaching back out and getting that, sharing stories with mothers can really be nice as well. And a nice way to realise that you're not in it alone. So it's definitely good if you can stay connected, and that would be also something that would help you feel less isolated within your journey, which many mums do feel. Even with a large family, many mums can still feel isolated throughout their journey. So please do try and stay connected and seek. Sometimes it also means seeking emotional support, and just, just sharing them stories in regards to how you are feeling emotionally. Like, even for myself, sometimes, like, as a breastfeeding mother, sometimes as a breastfeeding mother and a breastfeeding supporter and educator, sometimes I still needed to have that emotional support, because sometimes you can feel quite tired, and you realizing that there's a want and a need for your baby, and sometimes you just want to feel like, actually, there's a want and a need for me, and I just don't want to be touched right now. There are points when you just feel like touched out, and it's okay, but it's about recognizing that and about speaking about it as well. Once you recognize that and you speak about it, and it's not that because you mean that you feel touched out now, It's not something that you're going to feel throughout your whole breastfeeding journey. It could just be for that specific moment that you feel that way. So reach out, speak to your friends, speak to your family, sometimes even just speak to a stranger, because sometimes you don't want to have the input of family and friends. So sometimes speaking to a stranger can also be rewarding, and listening to really nice, your nice relaxing music, that music that always did give you that joy inside. Sometimes just putting that on, even throughout your breastfeeding session with your baby, can make you feel so much better while you are feeding your baby. And definitely it's important to set boundaries. So it's important to learn to say no. There's nothing wrong with being able to say no. You can say no, whether it is to the other children, whether it's to your partner, your husband, or saying no to your family and friends that may need something from you. But it's okay to say no. There's nothing wrong with saying no, and it doesn't mean that you're not a nice person because you're saying no. You're just setting your boundaries, and for you to be kind to yourself, you have to have those boundaries there. And I believe that it's important that you be kind to yourself first, and then the kindness will definitely reach out to others. For what I would like to, I'm just going to have a quick look to see if there's any questions here. Okay. Massage shoulders, arms, lower back, thighs, legs, and oil. Yes, it can all be done, but definitely, if you can do it. But I don't know about massaging our own back. There's only so much we can do. But definitely reach out to someone, your partner, get them to get a bit of oil. And if you're worried that they may not be able to massage you how you want to be massaged, why not look up a video on YouTube, or even take some time out and find someone that's local, that does actually come to your home and can offer you that massage session, a short massage session, or come out to somewhere local that they actually offer postnatal massage sessions for mothers that are breastfeeding. I feel that there's a difference when you have someone that actually has worked with mothers in comparison to someone that hasn't, because there's a way that you can actually relate. They know all the points where you most probably are feeling your discomfort, where to touch, where not to touch. But also that is something that you can definitely speak to your massage therapist about as well. And yes, I also agree with that. Speak to those who are not judgmental. And there's sometimes, some people don't always mean to be judgmental, but they do. It's just something that they can't help, especially your parents, the grandparents, because they're so used to doing something a specific way. They're going to definitely think, why are you doing it that way? And you might feel judged. But just remember, that's your boundaries. And sometimes you do have to say, I prefer not to have this conversation. They might think you're rude. Sometimes you can't tell your parents that, and that's okay. But sometimes you just got to let some things fly over your head. Take what you want from conversations and just let whatever you don't, let it go. Okay? So also there's some tips for actual practitioners and how they can also support mothers with their, relaxation and mental health and well-being during their breastfeeding journey. So definitely as a practitioner, we should really think about encouraging the mothers to sometimes, take short breaks during their breastfeeding sessions. So if their baby allows. But sometimes if they feel that, that the breastfeeding session is going on for quite some time, it's apart from looking at all the reasons why that may be, it could be to do with flow. It could, there's different reasons why sometimes some sessions may go on for long. But it's also about encouraging relaxation. It doesn't always mean stopping. It could just actually mean that let's make you really comfortable. Because you are breastfeeding, it doesn't mean you have to be upright. You have to have this pillow on your lap and your shoulders have to be up. No, because if your shoulders are up, as soon as you start to relax, your breast is going to move out of position and it's not going to really be an optimal position if you had it there. So it's about actually getting into that position before you start breastfeeding, making sure you have those cushions around you, and really encouraging the mums to feel comfortable, to feel relaxed, and then bringing baby to them so they can have a relaxing breastfeeding session. Also, it's about providing emotional support. So emotional support we as practitioners, we have to also, it's something that we should always think about doing, because breastfeeding isn't always about putting, you know, baby to breast. It's about the mother and the mother's well-being as well. If mum's happy, I find that babies tend to be very happy as well. So it's about knowing how, if you feel that there's a limit to the emotional support that you can provide, it's about signposting them where they can find emotional support that may be more relative to what they may be experiencing if it's not directly to do with breastfeeding itself. There are lots of resources out there, and we also have to be very mindful that, you know, I find that mothers are very delicate. They're very, very delicate, and we have to be careful how we handle them. As they're handling their babies gently, this is the same way that we should all be handling our mothers, very gently, and be mindful of what we say to them. Not, you know, get over it, the baby's too hungry. No, none of that is, you know, I'm not saying that all practitioners do this, but in not just only practitioners, but family, friends, they are all part of the support in the mother's breastfeeding journey. And we have to be very, very mindful and delicate of the words that we are using when we are supporting them, especially when we have signs to know that, you know, that they are actually finding things a bit challenging. And we definitely want to validate the parent's choice. So it's not about, you know, when are you thinking about stopping to breastfeed your baby? Like, that's not our business, because of the mother is doing what is right for her and doing what's right for her baby. So we're not going to try and think about, you know, what choices is she making and sway her to make different choices. You know, if a mother's breastfeeding and she decides that she wants to start expressing, it's about how do we support her with breastfeeding and expressing, not why are you going to choose to do that. You know, we don't want to be judgmental, but we want to be able to provide the resources. And sometimes, you know, if it's a family member, if you are a family member and a friend, and you are not, you know, clued up with what's the best way to go about it, or what's the way that you feel that, you know, that when you went through it and how the mother should go through it, ask them, just ask, listen, and support their wishes. Let's not dictate of what we feel that a mother should do with their baby. And that's also very important, because that can make a huge impact on how they build their strength and their mental health and their self-esteem within their breastfeeding journey. And we need to really validate that and let them know that regardless of what, we are going to support you, how you want to feed your baby, because it's not affecting you if mother chooses to breastfeed for however long, or how she chooses to breastfeed, or what breastfeeding looks like to her. If she decides that she's going to give her one side of her breast a rest for one day and feed on the other side, try not to be judgmental. Let's support her with her wishes and her choices. If we don't understand, there's nothing wrong with asking, but let's not dictate of what they should do. Okay? And, you know, we can offer practical support in regards to, you know, as a practitioner, or if you're going into the mother's home and you're supporting the mum, what practical support can we actually provide? And it's about, you know, asking them if they need anything, if they would like us to do anything, what would help them to feel more comfortable, you know, things like that. And sometimes it could also be like, if the mother is finding things challenging, then do you want me to contact someone, or to look up who can help and support you? So, you know, apart from us providing that support, it is a community thing, and it's not, breastfeeding doesn't only work just because the mother wanted to breastfeed. It is a community thing. So the other half, the partner, also needs to be supporting the mother as well with that. And if there's anything that they don't understand, then there are resources out there that the mother can reach out for. And also sometimes the partner or the family member, there's lots of resources out there to look out for before you start to dictate that, oh, we feel that it's going this way, you should do it like this, and then having lots of conflicting advice. Actually look at the resources that are out there online, which I would also leave when I repost this. I would have it, some resources there for you to be able to look at. And sometimes, you know, just really create a nice, relaxing environment. So because you're breastfeeding and because you're at home, sometimes you can dim your lights. You can turn the lights down and get yourself in a nice, relaxing environment. Sometimes it may be, them same candles I said to put in your bath. You can have them in your room as long as it's safe. Having that diffuser, sometimes the mother may not always think that these things are available, but we can definitely encourage that and support her with that. And, sometimes just ask her, what would make her feel more comfortable right now? What would make that mother feel more comfortable right now? And help supporting the mother to create the environment that she needs at that specific time. And definitely celebrate the mother's achievements. I'm telling you, one day of breastfeeding is amazing. And for you to do one day, even 1 hour, even just like giving your baby one drop through a syringe, we need to be very supportive and celebrate these achievements, because there are big steps in regard to going, striving through your breastfeeding journey. And not everybody's breastfeeding journey is going to look the same. They very rarely look the same. But we need to really be helping and encouraging and celebrating those achievements that mother's making, whatever stage of her breastfeeding journey she's in. And I'm telling you, later on when she's finished, she's going to say, she's going to remember everything. She's going to remember the times when she was encouraged and celebrated. So definitely don't hold back and just let her know how well she's doing. Even if, sorry, I'm going to have some water. Even if she doesn't really understand what's going on with her, sometimes she might feel that she's not doing so great, because sometimes, it can be really uncomfortable in the early days. And sometimes it's not always to do with, is my baby latched on well? Your baby could be latched on well, but when that milk comes through and you're like, I've never felt my breast feeling like this, is this normal and stuff like that, just really, she's going to remember all those things. So really celebrate her achievements of her journey. Can be really rewarding. And also, just really sometimes we have to continue as practitioners. We definitely, educate and encourage. We keep doing that on a daily basis. But we want to not only educate and encourage and empower, but we want to also celebrate the achievement. We want to, express the gratitude and show appreciation, for the mother's dedication of her hard work of what she's doing and how she's getting through her breastfeeding, and let her know that it is valid and it is recognized. We want to also, as practitioners, encourage the self-care practices. We don't want our mothers to be at home and being all stiff and breastfeeding and feeling awkward and uncomfortable and waking up in the night and thinking they have to go on this specific chair. We want to also encourage self-care practices. These self-care practices could be done, some of them while your mother is feeding. It could be to do with affirmations. It could be to do with deep breathing. It could be to do with relaxing music in the background. We want to try to encourage that and share that with our mothers so they incorporate it within their lives. It's not a thing where now I've got a baby, I'm sort of like not looking into me and everything's about baby. What about the mum? If we want our mums to strive, we have to start with the mums. Once the mums are striving, their babies are fine. So let's definitely all support the mothers, encourage their self-care practice, and also, just really be that listening ear. So we have to listen. And sometimes I know we can be so talkative, and especially if you are educated, you're so used to talking about what you do. Let's listen, because we can always learn from mothers. We always do learn from mothers. And it's so important to just be that listening ear, that non-judgmental listening ear. So thank you all for listening. Do we have any questions? So I'll just speak on for a little while, and if you have any questions around self-care, definitely do send it in the comments. I will try and respond and answer it. Also, additionally, just to shout out that I have actually incorporated some new self-care treatments for mothers that are breastfeeding that can help them. So it's all about helping the mothers to relax, having that nice, short break, that short environment where she can come, have a massage, and also have someone that's, experienced in regards to supporting mothers with breastfeeding, so she can address any concerns, have a herbal tea tailored towards her and what she may be going through, if it's to do with a lack of iron, if it's to do with, just really helping to boost up her milk supply. There's different things that I do, and so mothers can definitely, if you felt that you are local to Hackney and you would like some support with your breastfeeding in regards to self-care, then I'm also here for you. And what else? Actually, that's another thing. I do have some affirmations. I have an affirmation PDF sheet, as well as a self-care daily routine for you mothers that would like it. It's on my website. I would also add it to the link after this session. And it's on my website. In my shop, you can find these affirmations. They are free to download up until the end of September, and then after that it's just £2.50. But definitely it's very useful thing, a useful resource that I would definitely recommend for you to take and make great use of. So maybe let me know if anyone have any questions. I'll just have a quick look. And thank you all for joining. And so what I'll do, this video is going to be up for you to go over. I would leave all the resourceful information as well within the comments. And this video would be uploaded to YouTube. So go and check over there if you missed it, or if your friend may not have Instagram, you can send them over onto YouTube as well. But I'd like to say thank you all for joining. And yes, happy Black Breastfeeding Week. Today is the last day, and I hope you are taking great care of yourself. Remember, you are special and no one can tell you otherwise. Bye. Okay, let's see how we stop this.